Hey guys, it's Gus. And if you notice, my build is totally messed up, right? I'm using non-optimal chest, no arms, no ring, no pants, no artifact set bonus. I'm using an augment companion which I never use, and my stats are all messed up. But there's a reason for this, and it's just for you all. And the reason being is I needed my power at 90% and accuracy at 80% with nothing that procs. So I don't have ferocity in there. Um, I don't have um, I don't have any procs that can increase offensive um, stat output, and I don't have any procs in here. And the reason being is, and of course I don't have like aspect of the serpent. It's an HR thing, but it can increase your damage output. This is just for a quick test. So I am the first one to admit I am not a mathematician. We have very great people in this community who understand how these work much better than everybody else. But I think as a whole, the majority of the player base does not understand the accuracy stat. The accuracy stat is very unusual. Why is it unusual? Well, we have power. We have six offensive stats, really. Well, kind of seven, but six. Power, accuracy, combat advantage, crit strike, crit severity. That's five. And then we also have, if we put here, we have outgoing damage. And you would see that with, let's say, Minsk, right? I think he's right here. So he's outgoing damage. So those are our really six um, offensive stats. The one unusual thing about accuracy is it's the only stat that as you add more of it, it actually gets better. And what do I mean by that? Every time you increase your power, as long as you don't go over 90%, you keep increasing your damage, but the gains you get smaller and smaller the closer you get to 90%. The same with combat advantage, the same with crit strike, the same with crit severity, and the same with outgoing damage. The more outgoing damage you get, the less effective it becomes. The only exception is accuracy. Accuracy actually gets better and better the closer you get to 90%. Um, the problem with getting close to 90% is you really have to give up a lot of other stuff. Um, my experience is that accuracy is actually a great stat in AoE situations where you don't have combat advantage a lot of the times, especially if you're a very aggressive offensive player, where actually accuracy, I'm using the Neverwinter Hub calculator and I might be doing wrong inputs. But if you have CA 52.634% of the time, accuracy is actually going to do more damage for you than combat advantage will. Now, here's another thing about accuracy is every accuracy what it does is the enemy will deflect 50% of your hits. They might not deflect four in a row, but if you do hundreds or thousands a hit, they're going to deflect about 50% of them. And the thing is, the lower your accuracy is, the greater the effect the deflect has from the enemy, which means the less damage you do. And the more accuracy you have, the less of an impact half of those deflects will have on your outgoing damage. And right now I'm at 80% and 90% power, so I can use a old legacy sorbet without increasing my power because it's maxed, and increasing accuracy to 90% to show you the difference. And forgive me, the only thing that I don't have changed is the I'm a Menzo, so if the debuffs procs, I have to wait a couple seconds for it to wear off. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch the hits. And if you notice, a normal hit will be 79.15 and a deflect will be 71.95. Now this is non-crit, okay? And of course we don't have combat advantage, and there's the proc from the Menzo. There's this 71.95 from the deflect, and a non-deflect regular will be 79. 1.5. Oh, that said 8076 because of the drought. Well, drought is Menzo, but and now it's procking like crazy. It makes it look like it procs every time, right? It There's this 7195 deflect, but we want a 7915. There you go, non-deflect, which is about a 9% damage loss. Okay, now watch what happens if we cap accuracy. I will put a caveat to this. This rounds, so it might be 79.9%, or it might be 80.4% or 80.04. So I 80.4, I mean, I'm sorry. So I don't know if it's rounding, but let's just assume 80%. And then if we use a watermelon, now we're going to be at 90%. Oh, I used the old watermelon for science. Jeez. And this is the 10% CA, 10% power. So the only thing that just changed with doing that is accuracy went up to 90%. And this might be exactly 90 or it might be 89.97, right? Because it rounds. But let's just assume it's 90 for this video. Now let's watch what happens. We should still have 7915 non-deflect, and watch how close the deflect will be. And I don't know what it will be. This is the first time I've done it. 7914. So it's one less damage. So there's the non-deflect 7915, right? And let's wait till we get a deflect again. Oh, that actually said it right there. 7914. So it's one less damage, and that means we're not exactly 90%, slightly rounded down. So what this means is when your accuracy gets to 90%, every time an enemy deflects your attack, you still do your maximum damage. So what am I saying? Stack accuracy? Not one bit. But what I am saying is that accuracy is a very good stat. In an ideal situation, in a boss setting, you're always going to have combat advantage. And if you're capping crit and crit severity, they work hand in hand, so they work very well together. But you're not always going to have that. In an AoE situation, accuracy is very good. And if your accuracy is already low, adding more accuracy won't have that much of an effect as, say, an outgoing damage companion will be, because your accuracy is low. But once it gets high, oh boy, it starts making a big difference. So, what's the point? The point is, accuracy is a very good stat. It's very good only if it's high, and I would say it's arguably better than combat advantage in an AoE situation. But at endgame, most people aren't building for AoE because most, if not all, the content AoE in the game is totally soloable, where you don't really need a team, because if you're tuned spec right, you can handle it on yourself. Is anybody saw me doing trying to beat boss the other day solo in that short video I posted? But if you're working with a team that's not ideal and you're the stronger player, experienced player in there, accuracy is a really good stat because you need to pull way more than your weight. But as you can see, once you have accuracy capped, deflect has no effect on your outgoing damage. So that means 50% of the hits you do that would normally be deflected, you're not losing any damage. Well, there you go. Stay classy, Neverwinter. See you soon.